All right, let's talk about break-in methods and which method is the best. About 10 minutes ago, I decided I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to test 16 different ways to break in bags, and I'm going to put a video out and tell you here's the best way to do it. And I actually did that experiment. It took me a couple months to do. So about 8 months ago, I started working on a video. I recorded the video like 5 or 6 different times. I recorded the video, and every time in editing, when I got the final product, I just didn't like the way the video turned out. So I ended up just deleting the video, scrapping the project, walking away, because I never got the results that I wanted. I got results, but it wasn't what I was wanting. It wasn't what I was expecting. And I didn't know how to present that in a way that was beneficial. And that's why I walked away. But I'm constantly, more than ever now, getting questions multiple times a day about how to break in bags. How did I break in the bags in this video? What's the bag, I ordered bag A. I don't know how to break them in. What should I do? And so I thought, let's put this video out. Let me revive this video, put a different twist on it, and present the results that I got and explain to you why I use the methods that I use for breaking in bags and what I recommend for using. I will preface the whole video by saying, if you've been breaking in bags for a while and you have a method you use that works, this video is not for you. I'm not out here to try to change the way you break in bags. I'm not going to tell you that what you do is wrong. There are 1,000 different ways to break in bags, and they all work. And if you like the method you're using and you have success with it, keep doing it. This video is more designed for the player who's new to the game, who doesn't know how to break in bags, doesn't know what they're doing, or someone who's struggling to find a good way to break in bags that they feel confident about, safe about, that they want to do. That's kind of where I'm going here. Let me kind of set up the experiment, what I did, why I did it, and what the results I got, and why I never did the video. So I actually bought 4 sets of bags. So I had 16 bags, and I bought the Titan Prowlers for 2 reasons. 1, Titan at the time was running a sale, so I could get 4 sets pretty cheaply. And 2, this carpet on the Prowler is a very difficult material to break in. And I didn't want to get bags that were easy to break in, because then I was afraid if I did the test, I wouldn't have results. Like if every bag was going to break in easily, then it really wouldn't matter what product I used. So I wanted a material that was very difficult to break in, and I felt like this carpet was it. So I bought 4 sets. I had 16 bags. Now, I only did 1 bag per product. I actually kept 2 bags for a control. So 1 bag I did nothing to but throw it. That was the just throw it method. The other bag I did a 1-hour hot water soak and a 1-hour tumble dry on low heat. That was kind of the method, because people always tell me it's not the product, it's the hot water and the tumble and the dryer that break the bag. So I did 1 with just hot water and a dryer. And then I had 12 different products to use on the bags. And again, I used 1 bag per product. And to be honest, that's not a great experiment, right? To do a true experiment, I should probably do 100 sets for each method. I should have had 1,600 sets here and run it through and actually get the measurements, get the results, and compare them. I'm not buying 1,600 sets of bags, and I don't have a use for 1,600 sets of Prowlers. In fact, I don't really have use for 4 sets of Prowlers. But anyway, I took 1 bag for each product, and I had toss sauce, I had bag butter. I used the toss sauce and Nuked. I just used 1, and I went with Nuked because that was their strongest formula. So I went with Nuked. I had the bag butter from Buffalo. I had the Sacrolax, I had the Ultra 1-hour break-in kit. I had Wrinkle Guard, I had fabric softener. In fact, I had several different brands of fabric softener. I had several different brands of hair conditioner and hair products. I had shaving cream, and I had white distilled vinegar. I think that covered everything. And what I did is first I took the bags brand new, and each one I measured both ways across the bag to get a measurement. The thought process was, as the bags break in, they're going to soften up. The bag should actually expand a little bit as they soften, because they're stiff and puffy brand new. They should soften and expand, so that number should increase. So the difference between the new bag and the broken bag, there should be a difference, and that should be a positive number, and that the higher that number is, the more broken the bag is per se. Then what I did is I had a wooden dowel, and I just laid the bag across the dowel, and I picked it up. And all I did was I didn't shake it and try to filter the beads. I just laid it down and I picked it right up. I actually measured the distance here. The thought process again being, the stiffer the bag, the newer the bag, it's going to be a bigger number. As that bag broke in, they should fold over taco more, and it should be a smaller number. So my difference between those 2 measurements should tell me again how broken the bag is. I took the measurements brand new. I ran each bag through the product 1 at a time, and I took a measurement after I did that, and then I went out and threw the bags and took a 3rd measure. So I had 3 different measurements going across for each method. The cornhole products, the toss sauce, the bag butter, the Sacrolax, the Ultra kit, I followed the instructions exactly how they. I went exactly by their instructions, not the method that I use, because I've tweaked them a little bit, but I went exactly step by step how they recommend doing their products. The other products, the fabric softener, the hair products, the shaving cream, the Wrinkle Guard, I kind of took the most popular methods that I could find. I did a research, and I have an idea of methods I use, but I did research, found what seemed to be the most common methods, the more popular methods, and that's what I applied. Because I had multiple different hair products, multiple different fabric softener brands. I actually tried a couple different methods with those just to see if maybe the method was different, maybe that would improve it. And so I went through my test, I did all that, and then at the end, I threw the bags. And the thought process was I was going to throw each bag 100 times, because I had to throw each bag individually so I didn't get them mixed up. I had to keep them, I had them all laid out, and I had them labeled, everything, so I could keep them in order. I actually had Ziploc bags. I'd put each bag in a Ziploc bag and written on there what break-in method was used on that bag, and I kept them all separated. So I threw them indoors. I put my training board up in the house, and I threw them indoors to eliminate the environment, because I couldn't do it all at one time. I couldn't do it all in one day. I had to do it over multiple days. So everything was the same. So no matter what day I did it, it was as close to being the same as I could get it. And I threw each bag 100 times. I started with the bag I did nothing to, which is probably my mistake, because I threw that 100 times and that bag was still stiff. I couldn't even tell I did it. It still felt brand new. And so I said, you know what? I got to throw this more because I'm not going to get a result. So I threw that bag another 100. So I did 200 throws in that bag. And then I realized I've got to throw every other bag 200 times as well to be fair. I can't throw that 200 times and the rest 100 times and then get a result. So I ended up having to throw 3,200 throws with bags one at a time. So I throw the bag, walk down, come back, throw it, walk down. I just had to do that over and over and over again. And then I did all that, right? I did all that and I got my measurements. And to go through the measurements, what I found was the 14 different products that I had used. When I went to measure them all at the end, every bag was within a 16th or a 32nd of an inch in measurement. Like they were so close to being the same that the result I got was all the methods worked. And that's where I struggled. That's why I scrapped the video, because I didn't have that here's the one product that worked better and here's why. I couldn't give you a reason why this product was better than that product, or this was the best product, or even this was the worst product. I didn't have the results. I got the result and conclusion that all the methods worked. There were some differences with the bags, and I'll get in a moment, but all the methods worked. And that's why I say, if you have a method that you're using, it probably works, and it probably works just as good as any other method that I'm going to tell you or that I'm going to recommend to you. So if you like it, keep doing it. I am not trying to change you. What I did find out, though, the shocker, the kind of the aha moment of the experiment that I got was the bag that I did nothing with, and even the one that it just had the water soaking and the tumble dryer, no product applied to it. I've always been a proponent up until then. I was always a proponent of the best method to break your bags is just throw it. You know, any product you use is going to shorten the life of the bag. It's going to ruin the bag, whatever. Your bag's not going to last as long. If you want to keep your bags lasting as long as possible, you've got to just throw them. And that was the thought process I had. After I did the experiment, I realized I had 200 throws on both those bags. And the one that did nothing to, after 200 throws, it still felt very stiff. I mean, this carpet, honestly, I've thrown this. I used to break in. Before I started doing the reviews, and I didn't have a lot of bags. I would go out and just throw bags. I get new bags. I would just throw them. And I can tell you, I've put 20, 25 hours of throwing on some carpet bags to get them broken, just to a point where they were ready to go play in a game. They weren't ready to go play in a competitive game, but just a fun game with friends or family, whatever. And so I did 200 throws with that bag, and it was nowhere. It wasn't ready. And every one of those throws was miserable because the bag was so stiff. It wasn't fun to throw. The bags that I did products, the 14 bags I did with a product, at least when I started throwing them, they still felt decent. They were pretty soft. They were ready to go. And I could throw them to some degree and get, I could actually use it as practice. I could get some results, the feedback off the bag as I threw them. And I realized even though the bags weren't fully broke in, all of those 14 products, the bags were at least at a point where I could play them. Like if I just did nothing but treat them, and then I could take them and go play in a league or something. I mean, maybe I wouldn't go play in a super competitive tournament or a super competitive event, but I'd go play in a fun league, go play in the backyard. I was comfortable doing that. And after 200 throws, the bags all felt great. Like they were ready to go, pretty much game ready. Like I had no issues with any of those other bags playing a game with them. But it was the ones where I did nothing to, or the one that didn't have a product on it and just got soaked. Both of those bags still needed a lot more time. And it got me thinking that, okay, I got 200 throws on that bag that's just on it. I've got to put another 400, 600, 800 throws. I'm putting maybe 1,000 throws or more on that bag to get it to where the bag was that I treated with toss sauce. How much life is that toss sauce taking out of this bag? Is it taking 800 throws of life out of the bag? I don't have a definitive answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you every time I threw that bag, I'm shortening the life of the bag. So I'm putting 400, 600, 800 extra throws on that bag than I am on another one that is already ready to go. I'm shortening the life of the bag, and so just throwing it doesn't save your bag. Every time you throw a bag, you're beating it up. You're beating it up. You're wearing the fabric out. You're wearing the fibers out. That's what's softening up. That's what's breaking the bag in, is the damage that you're doing to the fibers. And so just throwing a bag, I no longer tell people to just throw bags to break them in. To me, that is not necessarily the best method. In fact, I almost wonder if that's the worst way. And I don't have time to go out and throw every bag, all 16 of those bags, until they wore out. Like, I just didn't do that. To find out, is just throwing them extending the life of the bag, or is it making it shorter? I don't know, but I do know that everything I did, every product every one of those 16 bags was the life of the bag was short when I was doing the experiment. And the bag that I just threw and the bag that had just a hot water soak and tumble dry, both of those still needed hundreds of more throws to get them anywhere close to where the treated bags were. That was my aha moment. That's kind of the shock for this video is, I don't think just throwing it's the best method anymore. I really don't. I recommend using products now. And what products do I recommend using? Well, let me tell you what I don't recommend using. The fabric softener. In this experiment, the fabric softener worked great, but I have actually ruined a set of bags with fabric softener. I had a set of 724 Chaos bags. I thought I had them up here. I don't. They must be in the other room. I had a set, and that carpet on that Chaos is also kind of tough to break in. So I was experimenting, trying to break it in, and I went too far. When I got done, the carpet felt great, but the fast side, that fabric is just shot. Like, it has a weird feel to it. It doesn't play right. Like, the bags are just, I brand new set of bags, and I ruined them because I used a fabric softener. Again, I'm not blaming the fabric softener. It's because I tried a different way to do it, but it got me thinking, it gives me some caution, some hesitation when I use something like that, is knowing that I could possibly ruin a set of bags by doing it. The hair care products, the shaving cream, when I use those, I can tell you, and even the wrinkle guard, they leave some kind of coating on the fiber of the materials, and it changes the way the bags feel. Now, if I did all 4 bags in a set with it and I went through them, I probably couldn't tell you that there was something different about them. But in this experiment, when I had 16 different bags, when I picked up a bag that had like hair conditioner on it or a wrinkle guard, I could immediately tell, oh, this is one of those. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but I could tell you it had a different feel. There was something different about that. Even after throwing it 200 times, it still felt a little different. And I didn't really like the way it felt. I liked how the other bags felt, had a more natural feeling to them. And I didn't feel like the other products left a residue. It was those hair care products and the wrinkle guard that really left the residue. But what I did find out, and what I do recommend, is there's 2 products that I still use. I still use a lot of different products from time to time. So I'm always trying to, if someone tells me about a new method, I'm going to go try it. I want to try it and see if it's better. But what I recommend to people, and what I recommend to you, again, if you're a new player and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to break your bags in, you're looking for answers, or maybe you've been playing for a while, but you've been breaking your bags by throwing them, and you really want to speed that process up. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not paid. No one paid me. This is my personal opinion. This is all me. I'm not, again, this is my honest review here on these. I love tall sauce. I use tall sauce all the time. In fact, I just ordered 4 more bottles of it the other day because I used them recently and ran out. I got a bunch of sets in this week and used it all and ran out. I love tall sauce for several reasons. One, it's so easy to use. You just fill the sink up, you dump the scoop in, you let your bag soak, come back after about an hour or so, you drain them out, throw them in the dryer, let them dry, come back. It doesn't take a lot of time. I can do other things while I'm breaking them in, and it works really well. When the bags are done, they feel great. I don't have any kind of residue on them. They come out really clean. I really love the simplicity of tall sauce. I love the quick results you get out of it. And the other thing is, it's designed for cornhole bags. It's designed for cornhole bags. It's tested on cornhole bags. I talked about the fabric softener and how I ruined the bags. I've left bags in the sink for multiple hours because I've forgotten about them with tall sauce. And when I get done, I've never ruined a set of bags using tall sauce. Even when I leave them soak for 4 hours, when it should have only been 1 or 45 minutes, I've overextended them and pull them out, and they still come out great. So I highly recommend tall sauce, especially if you're brand new. You don't know how to break in bags, you're starting out. Tall sauce, it gives you step-by-step instructions. It works great. It's very easy to follow. You can't mess it up. The other product I recommend is the white distilled vinegar. I love that product. I love the way the bags feel after that. It's readily, for me, the main reason is it's readily available. My wife always has white distilled vinegar in the house. If not, I can go to the store and pick a bottle up right now. I'm 10 minutes. I can go get a bottle and come back, start breaking in bags. And so I love the fact it's readily available. I love the way the bags feel. The one negative I'd say about it is it's not an exact process, right? I got a video up explaining how I do it, but to be honest, I fill a sink of water, I dump in, I eyeball it, it's about enough. I throw the bags, let them soak. Again, I've left bags in the sink for way longer than I should have, and they come out, like I've never ruined a set of bags using vinegar on them either. I get some people are hesitant because of the smell. I've never had a bag come out smelling like vinegar. They all come out smelling perfectly clean, like it rinses out thoroughly. But I get it. If you're hesitant about it, I'm not pushing on you. I'm not saying use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But I'm just saying, I love the way the bags feel. It's something I recommend. It's pretty cheap. It's easy to use. So those are the two things, toss sauce and vinegar, the only two things that I go to all the time that I will recommend to you. So if you guys are looking for a way to break in bags, and honestly, both those products work on every set of bags out there. There's not a set of bags that I wouldn't use one of those two products or both products on. I think they'll work on anything. So I have no hesitation. If you're trying to break in a set of bags and you have a question, go to one of those two. And if you don't feel comfortable with vinegar, you're not hesitant about the smell, go toss sauce. You can't go wrong there. Again, I love the way the bags come out with those. If you're buying a set of bags and you don't know how to break them in, a lot of times the bag manufacturers will have their recommended methods on their website, or send them a message and ask them, do they have a recommended way to break the bags in? Because if you're hesitant about ruining a set of bags, ask them. If you follow their method and the bags don't turn out right, or there's an issue with the bags, they can't blame the break-in method if you used what they recommended, right? So that's kind of the exception there, but most of the time it's toss sauce or it's the vinegar, whichever I have. The vinegar is a little bit longer process. It's a little more, it's not labor intensive. It's a longer soak, where the toss sauce goes quicker. And a lot of times I tend to favor the toss sauce because I'm looking for, I got to quickly break these 3 sets of bags in so I can go out and throw them tomorrow or whatever. I can get a review done on them. I got to get these broke in, get a review done on by the end of the week or whatever it is. So I'm typically favoring the toss sauce. But toss sauce, vinegar, 2 products I recommend. So if you don't know, if you're looking for a break-in method, I can't recommend those 2 enough. I have videos up on my channel of both those processes of how I go through them. If you want to go take a look at those, if you have any questions, do that. Please don't send me comments or messages telling me that your method is better than I did. I get it. If you have a method that works, I'm not saying change it. I'm not saying toss sauce is better. I'm not saying vinegar is better than what you use. I'm just saying those are what I recommend to people all the time. Those are the methods that I like to use. And this is why. And this is why the bigger aha thing is, I don't recommend just throwing your bags anymore, because I don't think that's the best method anymore. I don't have the results to prove it's not the best. I also don't have the test results to prove that it's better, right? I have doubts in my mind if it's the best way to do it anymore. Take this results for what you want, use them. This is kind of why I hesitated to put this video out, because the answer is not as definitive as I wanted to. It's not that, aha, here's the one product, but it is, here's what I use and here's what I don't do anymore. So I thank you guys so much for support, and I thank you for watching.